Very unsettling encounter with stranger at my door. This happened about 3 years ago, but I still think about it from time to time and it still creeps me out. I, 21 at the time, had just moved into a new apartment on the first floor of a building. It was late one night and my roommate was out when somebody knocked on the door. This was not uncommon as we were in college and my roommate had friends that would come by to hang out at all hours of the day. I just figured it was one of his friends, so I get up and check the peephole. Staring right back at me through the peephole is an eyeball pressed against it. Again, this is also something that one of our friends might do just to be funny. I chuckled and opened the door, surprised to see a guy in his mid-20s that I didn't recognize. He was strange, to say the least. He was very hyper and immediately launched into a door-to-door salesman-type pitch. I can't remember exactly what he was even selling, but it was something about the local university, which I also attended at the time. The whole time he was talking, he kept looking past me into the apartment, he was fidgeting and even standing on his tiptoes to see inside. Still, I just thought the guy was weird and nervous and might not have been all there. I politely declined to buy anything from him, but he wouldn't take no for an answer. I finally had to be pretty stern in telling him that I wasn't interested. He finally accepted defeat and as I was closing the door he put his hand out and stopped the door from closing. Before I can be like, what the fuck dude? He smiles at me and says, I like Mario Kart on the Nintendo 64 too. Now me and my roommate had been staying up late into the night playing Mario Kart 64 in my bedroom for the past several days before that. But there was nothing that he could see from the apartment entrance that had anything to do with Mario Kart. I was taken aback and trying to add things up in my head and confusingly asked, how do you know I play Mario Kart? He then got super nervous and said, I just thought that anyone with a couch like that would be into Mario Kart on the Nintendo 64, cause you know, it's like a retro game and that's a retro couch. What the hell is that explanation lol? Then he was like, okay bye. And literally scurried away. I shut the door and locked it. I start trying to put the pieces together on how he could have known that because obviously, it wasn't because of my grandma's old couch. Remember, it's a first floor apartment that backed up to woods. My roommate got home shortly after that and I immediately tell him about the encounter. He was freaked out too and so we start investigating. At first, it seemed as if there was no way to even see inside my bedroom. My blinds were always down. We went outside and tested it and found that the only way to see inside would have been if you had your face right up against the window. And even then you kind of had to crouch and close one eye just to get a glimpse of the inside. A couple more creepy details, my window was over a balcony, and the Nintendo 64 console itself was stored inside of the TV stand and was not visible. You'd only be able to see it while we were actively playing, which we never did until we were a little stoned and it was like 2 a.m. So basically this fucking creep had been jumping the railing to our balcony, pressing his face against my window, and watching us play Mario Kart in the middle of the night. Never saw the guy again, but needless to say I was pretty paranoid for a while after that. I constantly checked my windows and woke up in the middle of night paranoid that he was standing just a couple feet away, watching me sleep. Just a very unsettling encounter. I'm glad that nothing more ever came of it, and that I never saw him again, but I have always wondered what his motives were.